Okay, so we have today Gina with us. Gina, who owns Hope Yoga in Jamesburg. Did I say that right, Gina? Is the right pronunciation, and everything?
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay,
Yep.
all right.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, so do you want to just tell us a little bit, Gina? I mean, I know we have had a brief introduction the first time we are seeing each other face to face, and
Mm,
this is just a way to get to understand for anyone who's signed up to our community to understand what Hope Yoga is, what kind of programs they can have, and then relate it to what we do. How they can also participate in the world of kirtan, what you do,
mm,
what you may have done in the past, and what we can bring to you, and in this way integrate the yoga community with those who are interested, like in kirtan. So with
yeah,
that, do you want to just kick off by saying a few words about what you're doing there? What your community offers at Hope Yoga.
sure. Yeah. So, Hope Yoga's been there since September of, let's see, I think it's 2000. It'll be 9 years or 8 years this September.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, and I didn't actually open up Hope Yoga, but I worked there for the whole 7.5 years it's been open. Hope
Hmm.
actually is the one who opened Hope Yoga. Her first name was Hope, and I took it over
Oh,
February of 2022. So I
hmm,
knew the community. I knew, I worked there. So I took that studio over then and pretty much just kept it going, and Hope built a really great community. So um, I just kept, you know, going forward with building community, offering a lot more similar classes. We offer yoga. We have hatha yoga. We have vinyasa yoga. We
hmm,
have yin yoga. Um, we're starting restorative yoga once a month. We do a yoga that we try to do around like the moon, the full moon. I have someone who comes in from LA, and we do
hmm.
a yoga and sound meditation. So he brings all his sound tools, and we actually do yoga to live music. He
Oh,
he plays
nice.
the Rav Vast, which is
Oh,
like
right,
that
right.
really cool saucer like drum.
Oh,
And
yeah,
then
the big
yeah,
one.
and
Does it have
yeah.
water in there, or is it just the vessels? Because I've
Um,
seen some people do it with water in there.
No, it's just the Ravast is just this cool metal saucer-like drum. I don't think
Oh,
there's any
okay,
water in that.
okay,
And
okay.
then so we do 45 minutes to that, and then he does a 45-minute sound meditation. He brings in his bowl, his crystal bowls, and his Tibetan metal bowls,
Oh, nice.
his singing
Hmm.
bowls. So it's really that's really awesome.
Hmm.
And we also have other forms of movement. So we have Pilates too,
Hmm.
and vinyasa yoga,
Hmm.
gentle yoga, beginner yoga. So
Hmm.
I have over 26 classes a week.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Is
So
that classified like as movement? I know they say some movement yoga or something. I mean, I'm a beginner at this, so I might not know all the right terms. Is vinyasa
uh,
the same thing as that?
is vinyasa the same as what?
Movement yoga. I think they call it motion or
Oh,
movement.
movement yoga. Yeah.
Hmm.
Vinyasa is like you're continually flowing with the breath. So you
Ah,
don't
the flow.
pause.
That's what I was looking
Yeah. You
for.
don't
Right.
pause too much.
Mm.
And it doesn't have to be fast, but and it usually builds up. Like the first time you do a sun salutation, and the second time you might add in like a warrior two on each side. And then the
Hmm.
next time you might add in warrior two and move into a different pose, and you do that on both sides. So it also tends to build the poses into the flow as well.
I see.
Yeah, it's a great class
Okay. Okay.
to do as well. But yeah, just my logo is movement, stillness, wisdom. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
nice. Hmm.
movement. We are a yoga studio, but I like to bring in different forms of movement as well,
Hmm.
so that we keep the function of our joints and longevity, be able to move into our wiser years. There's kind of the wisdom comes into.
Yeah.
And we always start with stillness and centering in our yoga classes. And I like to bring
Hmm.
in breath and some stillness at the end.
Hmm.
And yeah. So anything else you want to know about?
Yeah. I'm seeing
Yoga?
all the, yoga offerings. I'm on a webpage,
Yeah.
hopeyoganh.com, and looking at the classes. Yeah, it looks like a
Yeah.
neat lineup you have there, whatever you described.
Yeah.
Yeah, in yoga, everything. So yeah, great. So, and there's a yoga plus strength plus sound, the 60-minute one
Yeah,
there.
that's the one I do. So, like
That's
I
the one you
said,
do. Oh, I see. Okay.
yeah, I'm very big on, as we get older, I'm in my
Mm-hmm.
50s. We want to
Mm.
stay strong, so
You,
yoga
d-
relative.
you don't look 50 at all.
Oh,
It must be
thank
the
you.
yoga.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Or just good genes. I take
Good
after my
genes.
mom
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that way.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, I like to throw in some, sneaky strength moves
Mm,
into that class, and
okay.
sometimes we use resistance bands. I have weights there, so sometimes we throw in, some light weights.
Mm-hmm.
So we make it fun.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, good.
yeah. Yeah, and,
Okay.
and a lot of different stuff.
Great. Great. I'll come back to your location and everything in a bit. So yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean, since you mentioned the sound, so to tie into what we do at Yoga Chanti, we're trying to introduce kirtan in our own way. It's a volunteer organization. We have different people doing kirtan, and so yeah, coming to that and specifically just to see if you have any overlap. What is your exposure so far to kirtan? Have you had any connection with it? So if you could just tell us a little about that.
Well, I haven't done much in the terms of live,
Mm,
kirtan.
mm-hmm,
Um, the another studio that I taught for, that I trained at, actually, um, they did bring in kirtan, and I was supposed to go, but I missed it actually. So I've listened to a lot of um like Krishna Das
mm-hmm.
CDs, where he does, the call and response a lot in
Right.
some of his CDs.
Yeah.
And I love that. I have taken one time when I took a yoga workshop up at a retreat center in New York.
Mm-hmm.
There was actually, at the same time, there was this whole chanting weekend going on. It was a whole kirtan weekend.
Oh, wow.
So,
Mm-hmm.
like, Wa was there, Krishna Das was there. I was like standing right in back and behind him in line one time when we were going for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was one experience I had then, was one night when I was falling asleep, they were chanting throughout the whole night.
Oh,
It was
mm-hmm.
like a whole, from midnight through to the morning.
I
And I
see.
have to tell you, that's one of the best night's sleep I think I ever had, because in the distance you could hear that chanting. And
Wow.
it was amazing. So I've
Oh,
always
that's
been
nice.
interested in it. Yeah, I've always been
Mm-hmm.
interested in it. I can't sing, and I know that doesn't matter,
Mm.
when you're doing the kirtan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always wanted to bring something like this into the studio, so that you got
Mm-hmm.
in touch. I thought that was, not a coincidence at all,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you
Yeah. That's good.
emailed and
Yeah.
then we got to connect about that. Yeah.
Mm. That's interesting. You said you slept through that and you had a good night's sleep. There are others who would say that they couldn't sleep unless they hear the, sound of the subway and the fire trucks like in New York City,
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, it was just because it wasn't right there. It was in the building across the way. There was woods between where my cabin was that I was sleeping at, and
Mm.
that building. And
Okay.
just in the distance, it was just, I don't know, it was just so like soothing
Nice. Okay, that
to
sounds
hear
good.
that.
So you definitely have had some, interaction with that and you know what it is. So yeah, great.
Mhm.
And then so you did mention that you haven't had anyone do kirtan at your yoga center, but you're open to that and we hope to serve your community in that way.
Mhm.
Um, so I guess my other question usually that I ask people is, how would you like to be involved in this world of kirtan? I mean, of course, you're open and you're receiving in this format in how
Mhm.
you're being open to us performing kirtan. But then, other than that, do you have any other kind of organizations that you interact with that do kirtan? Have you heard of anything like that? Well, in specific to yoga and kirtan.
Have I been involved with any other
Mm-hmm.
organizations who do this?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Okay.
no,
Okay.
I haven't at all.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
No, and I think it's really when you, going back to when you asked me my experience with it, there was a CD way back when I got diagnosed with Graves' disease, which is a
Mm,
thyroid issue.
mm-hmm,
That's when I really started getting into like the chanting. Because
mm-hmm.
kirtan, would you say kirtan and chanting are similar?
Yes, yes, they
Would
are.
you say they're
They
the
are.
same
Kirtan is
thing
the
or
a technical the term for it,
okay.
which also means a noun indicating the music itself. So when you say like
Okay.
someone does kirtan, or the
Yeah.
or the, did you listen to that kirtan and so on, and then
Okay.
yes, chanting could also be like some people chant on beads. That's called as
Yeah.
as meditational, chanting like or japa,
Mhm.
and
Uh-huh.
that's also referred to as chanting. But yeah, but chanting in general also, as you say, it refers to the process of singing in chants. Like you have Om Namah Shivaya, the Hare
Mm.
Krishna mantra, which we heard a lot when we go to the Bhakti Center. It's a yoga center in Manhattan,
Mm-hmm.
um, and so on. Yeah, so you're right.
Yeah, so there was, when I discovered I had that, I got really interested in the chakras. So,
Mm,
fifth chakra here at the throat, they said, chanting would help with that.
hmm.
So I that's all I did for I would say like 6 to 9 months. Every time I was in the car, I put the CD in and I would just chant and learn all this woman's chants. And I
Uh,
still remember like today I could just sit and chant because sometimes and remember some of the hard ones too. They were kind of hard, but they kind of stuck in my mind.
right.
And I feel it's pretty powerful. That's why too I'm really interested in this because I think energetically it's so powerful too and healing.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And you mentioned the chakras. So that's something that we have on our resources on our website. There's a lady who does that, like explores the science like of chakras and how they get strengthened. Stress gets relieved, and your chakras become more powerful, and so on. So
Yeah.
yes, that makes sense. Great. So now coming back to your actual yoga studio, because I was interested in looking at some of that. So for anyone who's going to be listening, so they can be more connected. So you are in Jamesburg, and you have all these classes going on. So for someone,
Mhm.
do you do any of this with all this COVID going on? I know many yoga studios switched to online. So any of it does say like online too, right? All the
Yeah,
classes that you
yeah.
offer.
So we're all of our basically all the classes,
Hmm.
unless it's specified, are in studio and Zoom.
Okay.
So yeah, we always do Zoom as well, unless like, we have a kids partner yoga coming up, a
Uh-huh.
workshop that's just in studio only. So unless it's specified, it's in studio and Zoom.
I see. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we
Okay.
kept
Got
that
it.
option because people like it. They want to be able to, if they're running late from work, they can jump on Zoom. If, they don't want to come in yet to the live classes, the Zoom is there. If we've had folks that have moved away and wanted to stay with the community, so they join in via Zoom.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we've
Okay. Got
kept
it.
it.
I've kept it
Yeah.
open there just in case. Yeah, yeah, things have changed, right? The world has moved
Yeah.
already. So that's
Yeah.
nice. And then you have all these classes. And yeah, I'm looking at your events page. That's nice. You have this posting up. Kids partner yoga. You got that going on. And resistance bands. Okay, I think there's a whole lot of interesting things here for anyone who's interested in learning more. And
Mhm.
I mean, is there a place where someone can find which classes you teach, specifically? I think you mentioned the sound, right, that you do?
Yeah, if they go to the hopeyoganj.com, if you go to
Hmm.
schedule,
Hmm.
you can
Studio
look through the
schedule.
schedule there and see it should show the teacher,
Okay.
maybe.
Okay, you click into that. Let me see.
um,
So let's do one
it
of
should
these. Actually,
show
you
the
know what?
teacher.
Since I'm here, I'm going to share my screen on this and let's look at this together real quick.
Sure.
So here it is. So then I go here, Hope Yoga NJ, and then this is the one I was looking at, Yoga plus Strength plus Sound.
Yeah.
And then it has the whole schedule there. Okay, that's nice. So
Yeah.
filter
So
by
that
teacher is
one's
what you meant. Okay, and
Yeah.
you're right here. Okay, so filter that, and
Yeah.
then you can see that you do all these yoga
Yeah.
stand sound right here. One, two, three. Okay, nice. Then you
Yeah.
have all these teachers here. That's
Mm-hmm.
fantastic. Okay, filter by teacher and goes back to showing everything. Okay, that
Yep.
that is awesome. List view, back to the schedule. So what I was looking at. Okay, so here, then there was the events, right? What was it? Upcoming events. Okay, that's the on. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
they're
a neat.
always changing,
Mhm.
I try to keep up with that.
Yeah. Right, right, right. Yeah, that's true. It keeps changing. Yeah, things that's part of the thing you go through, right? Like, and ever changing,
Right.
stuff, this, that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so that's great. So yeah, I think this is great. Anything else? Did you have any questions, Gina, specific to what we do, to kirtan, or anything else?
No, I don't think so. I think you answered everything, between the kirtan and the chanting, and it's the call and response,
Mm-hmm.
right? Basically.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really excited, and if it goes well, I would love to do more,
Awesome. That
you
sounds
know.
good. Yeah, yeah, we have a whole community. I can introduce you to more people as it goes along, and then there'll
Hmm.
be possibly some good overlap, and it could be beneficial in
Yeah.
many ways to introduce more people to what you do, and vice
Hmm.
versa. So
Yeah,
yeah, yes,
exactly.
looking forward to it, Gina. All right, thank
Yeah,
you.
me too. You're welcome.